Welcome to the fourth episode of Pass the Baton. I am your host, M.R. Mohali. Some of you might know me as Gina. In today's episode, we will be exploring handling your paperwork as a musician. If you missed on the previous episode, I encourage that you go check it out. We touched on CMOs for musicians in South Africa. It's very important that you head back to the previous episode because that subject matter does interact into today's topic. A professional musician is a business. Therefore, it's important for you to identify what kind of business you'd like to be. I'd like for us to take a trip back to our high school education. Remember in grade 9, when we did our EMS, economic studies, we would be taught of the different types of businesses that we had. Sole proprietaries, we had limited liability companies, and we had partnerships, we had closed corporations, etc. It's important for you to identify what kind of a business you'd like to be. And the reason why I encourage for this is because this would then help you to identify what are the next steps you need to take in terms of what kind of paperwork you need to be handling. The next step would be to attend to all the paperwork that's in regard to the type of form of business you choose to be. That is your company registration, if any needed, the bank account setup, the taxman, partnership agreements if you go into any, as well as the CMO registrations. See, when I said that this subject matter does link to the previous episode. Usually when you register with the CMOs for them to administer your royalties, you do have to give them such things such as your bank account details. So you need to have known whether you're going to give them your personal bank account details because you chose to be a sole proprietor, or you give them an official business account because you either chose to be a limited liability company or a private limited liability company or a partnership. Look, you have to have a conversation with yourself as to what you really want. What I usually advise my clients is that they set up companies for themselves, but only if they genuinely will be taking up responsibility to be following up with the paperwork, because it's important that you report your tax. You report your taxes. It's important that you report to the registrar of companies what's going on with your company. But I always advise that they rather do that because as a musician, you are a freelancer. So having a formal way in which your income will be coming in, and you can have various setup ways to ensure that you kind of receive your earnings in a way that the system recognizes. For example, if money filtrates into your company, right, you can also be paying yourself a salary. You can submit to the banks when you're trying to apply for various things that would be necessary for your livelihood. There are many things, but this is not financial advice really. It's just something you need to open your mind to and explore. The next step will be identifying the people that play a role in your career, who will be your business's human resources or manpower, whether directly and indirectly, whether you'll be outsourcing, especially in the beginning, you'll be outsourcing a lot, or you would be directly hiring. Even in your personal capacity, you gotta know, mostly actually you'll be outsourcing, and those type of things are things and claims that would matter towards your taxes, etc. But you need to identify who plays a role in your career. For example, it could be your manager, your publicist, your booking agent, your producer, etc. There's so many key players in your music career. Like I said, a professional musician is a business. There's so much HR, so much human resources, so many people involved in the back end of your music career's success. So you need to know who are these people, and that will also help you identify what kind of agreements will be necessary to put in place. It's also advisable to consult a lawyer to help draft these agreements for you. Google templates fall off short. Look, I know we have this habit of just Googling or searching on the internet any type of agreement, and we take the templates and we think we can run with it. But that is dangerous. Listen, the templates on the internet are a good basis of having an idea of how something could look like, but they fall off short so much because there are many legal principles that are applied per region or the country you're resident at that are taken into account when drafting agreements or contracts. This is to ensure that they meet the legal principles or standard, are enforceable, and are valid according to the law. The particular type of lawyer you'd want to approach in your context, a musician or an entertainer in general, is one that specializes in entertainment law. So we do have entertainment lawyers in South Africa. They're not many, but there's a couple. You can search up entertainment law firms. I know once we bring up lawyer, we become scared because we're thinking, oh my gosh, rates, that money. Usually you can start small. Maybe book a consultation session where you pay them for their time for them to be able to listen to you and then tell you what's necessary. Usually that will not cost quite a lot, right? So you can take step by step. First, you get the information from the right source that will tell you, according to what you've told them, what you may need. Then from there you can have conversations. Be open-minded, and also lawyers are open-minded people as well. But their time is paid for, and so are their skills. And the last thing that we're going to talk about is there are other types of paperwork you need to attend to. We talked about, contracts. Don't make the mistake of taking templates on the internet and thinking that's going to apply. Listen, there has been situations where people take templates of the internet and then they just adjust and fill in their names, whatever, and think that's going to roll. Like I've explained, there's certain legal principles that are followed per region. You'll find that in the US, they follow certain legal principles that are accepted in their courts of law. So you need to ensure that you are safe by consulting an entertainment lawyer, so you draft valid, enforceable contracts according to the South African law, right? You don't want to get into those kind of hot waters. But then there are those other documents that don't necessarily need lawyers. These can be things such as split sheets. Split sheets are a type of document where you fill in the split percentages of rights over your creation that you would have with the person you would have collaborated with in the creation of, say, music. Say, for example, you collaborated with a producer. They made a beat and you wrote lyrics to that beat. The both of you fill out this document that, okay, whoever has a certain percentage of rights to earn from the usage of this music, right? However splits you agree. It's up to you. It's negotiable. You guys will negotiate between each other. Be very open-minded about how you negotiate your percentages, thus facilitating a very feasible work atmosphere. Okay, don't be hot-headed. Be a person who is both agreeable and affirmative at the same time. And we all know songs where they've caused a lot of scandal, where everybody's fighting over royalties and splits. So it's important to attend to this. And if you're wondering, even the CMOs themselves do give out like templates such as these. You can head out to SAMRO's website. You will find on the section for forms a template for royalty splits, a split sheet. Outside SAMRO, you can still Google and you'll find many examples. If you're interested in us giving you access to our own type of split sheet, hit the link in the description and let us know that you'd like us to send you that split sheet form. Otherwise, really, you can find another type of a template on SAMRO's website or on Google as well. But if you'd like to access our own type of template, we would love to share it with you as well. Alright, that is all for today's episode. See you next Monday. I'm out.